Let's start with generative AI. This is the system you use when you need to create something completely new based on a simple prompt. Think of a language model like a master chef. Give it a list of ingredients, your prompt, and it rapidly synthesizes them into an original dish. Not all of these chefs work in the same size kitchen. Large language models, or LLMs, are trained on massive amounts of data. They are powerful and can generalize across almost any topic. Small language models, or SLMs, take up much less space and are highly cost-effective. They're perfect for running localized tasks right on your own device. Now, if you want to give that model a job to do, you build an AI agent. AI agents have three specific parts. First, the brain, which is usually a large language model. Second, the instructions, which act as the agent's job description. And third, the tools, which let the agent interact with the outside world. Those tools generally fall into two categories. Knowledge tools let the agent look up new information, like searching a database or browsing the web. Action tools let the agent actually do things on your behalf, like sending an email or updating a calendar. If you face a scenario where you need to generate a natural language response, summarize a stack of documents, or automate a sequence of actions, generative AI and agents are the required solution. But what if you already have the text and you just need to understand it? That requires natural language processing, or NLP. Instead of a chef cooking up something new, NLP acts like an expert analyst sitting at a desk making sense of existing documents. This diagram shows how that analysis usually flows. An unstructured block of text enters the pipeline. The very first step is language detection, to figure out exactly what language the document is written in. Next, it moves into text classification, which sorts the document into a category. A common use here is sentiment analysis, where the system reads a review and categorizes it as positive, negative, or neutral. After classifying the text, the pipeline often moves to key term extraction and entity detection. This is where the system scans the document and pulls out specific, useful pieces of information, like names of people, physical places, or specific dates, putting them into neat data fields. A highly critical version of this is the detection and redaction of personally identifiable information, or PII. If a document contains private details like phone numbers or home addresses, the system can automatically flag and obscure them to comply with privacy laws. If your goal is to evaluate the sentiment of customer reviews, automatically redact private details before sharing, or sort documents into predictable categories, you will rely on NLP services. We can also train AI to process human senses, starting with hearing and speaking. Speech AI acts as a bridge between spoken sound and written text. It can listen and act as a transcriber, or it can take a script and act as a vocalizer. The first capability is speech recognition, taking an incoming audio signal and transcribing it into a readable format. The exact reverse is speech synthesis, taking text and vocalizing it into a human-sounding signal. When evaluating a scenario, all you have to do is look at the starting point. If the input is an audio file that needs to be read, choose speech to text. If the input is a text file that needs to be heard aloud, choose text to speech. Let's move from hearing to seeing. Computer vision models analyze visual input, like still photographs, or recorded videos, or live camera feeds. To do this, they are trained on massive data sets of images, so they can learn to recognize visual patterns. This analysis happens at different levels of depth, beginning with image classification. The model looks at an unlabeled image and predicts a single label for the entire picture, essentially answering, what is the main subject? Moving deeper is object detection, where the system draws a rectangular bounding box around an individual item, like a monitor. The most detailed level is semantic segmentation, which identifies the exact physical pixels belonging to that irregular object. This distinction is precise. While object detection defines a general area with a box, semantic segmentation identifies the exact physical edge of the object, pixel by pixel. Sometimes you need to analyze a visual image, but the goal isn't to identify objects, it's to read the text trapped inside. This is information extraction. We use this to pull usable data out of unstructured visual documents, like scanned paper forms or photographs. Optical character recognition, or OCR, looks at an image like a mosquito and identifies the physical locations where text exists. Paired with an analytical model, it maps those values to structured fields, turning printed text into usable digital data. Anytime you encounter a need for the large-scale digitization of paper records or extracting specific fields from a scanned image, information extraction is the process that handles it. All of these capabilities require governance. Responsible AI is the set of mandatory guardrails and safety systems that developers must build into a model before it is allowed to operate in the real world. Think of it like installing heavy, reliable brakes on a machine so it stays safely under control. There are 6 core principles to this framework. This grid shows the first 2. Fairness, which means testing systems to prevent demographic bias in things like loan approvals, and reliability and safety, which ensures AI operates securely in the physical world, like requiring a high confidence score before a robot interacts with its environment. Next, we have privacy and security, which dictates that developers must secure training data and immediately delete temporary personal data, like a face scan at an airport. Alongside this is inclusiveness, which requires systems to benefit everyone. For example, automatically generating text captions for a voice assistant, so users with hearing impairments can still use it. Finally, we have transparency and accountability. Transparency means users must always be told when they are interacting with an AI system, rather than a human. Accountability establishes that the organizations building and deploying these systems hold ultimate responsibility for whatever outcomes the AI produces. Technical power requires ethical structure. By applying these 6 principles, developers can ensure that as AI becomes more capable, it remains a tool that works for everyone, safely and transparently.